I'm sure there's a more practical use for this. I see the autopilot's working, unlike Sub-Lieutenant Jones. If I do that, I'll have to go on a... Sub-Lieutenant Jones!
Aye, boyo?
What is it you're tinkering with there, Jones? That isn't our reconnaissance rover you're disassembling, is it?
Well, but, funny story. While you were downstairs attending to that very complicated, laborious task, flicking that switch on and off, I've been running a variety of pre-mission calibration tests on the Beagle 2-2.
I presume that's why the floor's covered with bits of toy Hot Wheels track.
Firstly, the fact that this modular vehicular pathway simulation system happens to be mass-produced and branded as a children's toy is irrelevant. And secondly, yes.
That's all well and good, Sub-Lieutenant Jones. However, if I recall correctly, we were specifically advised that the Beagle 2-2 tended to function significantly better when its complicated array of electronics and mechanical components were positioned inside its aluminium housing.
Look, I just have to make a few minor repairs. During a centrifugal force resistance simulation, the rover proved exceedingly resistant.
So it flew off the loop bit.
That would be a valid interpretation of events, yes.
Sounds like I'm going to be required to go on some kind of scavenger hunt. What do you need?
To get the rover going again?
For the time being, that's all I feel I'm obligated to offer, yes.
I think the rigorous nature of the, test may have burned out the main motor.
I see. So, I'll have to find something to create some sort of electromagnet that'll revolve when a current is passed through it. I'll have to fashion a pulley system of sorts to drive power to the wheels. Something with a taut elastic band should do the trick, like an alluring undergarment. Now, if I was to remove the elastic...
Alternatively, but you could just always grab me a spare. We've got a cupboard full of them.
Be sure to put your toys away when you're done. I don't suppose you'd have any use for this premium German motorized screwdriver?
Ah, cheers, Bert.
Sub-Lieutenant Jones! What are you doing?
Relax, Bert.
Relax! Do you have any idea how expensive parts and servicing are for that thing?
Look, I have an idea.
I'm sorry, I presumed that was the motor I could smell burning.
Look, we can replace the motor in the Beagle with the motor in this screwdriver. It's probably more reliable than our own spares anyway.
Great thinking, Sub-Lieutenant Jones. Why? It's intuitive thinking like that that won us the war.
Of independence?
No, the other ones.
For the last time.
By Jove, it works!
In 600,000 yards, your destination will be on the right. You've reached your destination.
Sub-Lieutenant Jones, we've arrived! The new world! Quickly, break open a container of property of ER2 flags and prepare a landing party!
As much as I'd love to jump onto the surface and soak up the radioactive atmosphere of this uncharted, most likely fatally hazardous planet, I think it may be an idea to send the Beagle 2-2 down first, just to get a feel for the place.
I've considered your suggestion, Sub-Lieutenant Jones, and have made the executive decision to send the Beagle 2-2 down for a quick recce, prior to making our own triumphant descent. The extra time will allow us to properly consider which 19th century member of the aristocracy to name this place after.
Launching probe.
Blast! The motor was a dud. Probably made by a Brummie or someone else from the north.
I wouldn't say Birmingham's in the north.
Anywhere above Enfield's north as far as I'm concerned, Sub-Lieutenant Jones. Well, we'll have to go down and salvage the rover. It'll look very embarrassing if we lose another one of these. Set us down! Sub-Lieutenant Jones, where have we landed?
We've landed on an uncharted rock structure, somewhere outside the range of what was previously understood to be the limit of human interstellar travel.
I see. So, Sub-Lieutenant Jones, what exactly do we know about this place?
Well, it's an uncharted rock structure.
I don't suppose you could enlighten the...
Look, I'm called Aled Jones, probably the most generic, stereotypical Welsh name in existence. It's clear that whoever's writing this hasn't bothered doing a terrible amount of research. I wouldn't count on anything specific.
How will we go about finding the location of the Beagle 2-2? Presumably we have some kind of app for that.
I'm afraid not. We could download one. Only costs 69p.
69 pence? I'll buy it when it's free. Right, the plan is, we head out, walk around aimlessly, look at a load of stuff eliciting a series of wry remarks, then start clicking everywhere until something happens.
I linger in the background and provide a series of hints if you feel things are a little too vexing.
Why break tradition, eh, Sub-Lieutenant Jones? Let's go! No doubt filled with epic loot, as they say on the YouTube.
Ah, cheers, Bert.
If I do that, I'll have to go on a call.
Look, boyo, over there.
Where?
By that rock.
Would it trouble you immensely to use another point of reference, Sub-Lieutenant Jones?
Fine, boyo. By that gorilla.
Good grief! That's the second biggest monkey I've ever seen.
I think he's holding the Beagle 2-2.
Put that down, you damn dirty ape! Come on, Sub-Lieutenant Jones. Let's get after him. I'm afraid I've nothing useful to hand. It's a rock. This is one of those situations where you're stuck between a rock and, well, more rocks.
Not so fast, you English mongrels. What do we have here, Pierre? Ah! Ouais, I see. Well, it would appear that you are too late, monsieur.
English. Captain Frank Lee English.
I'd just like to clarify that I'm not actually English. I'm Welsh.
Monsieur English and Monsieur Welsh. It would appear that you have been too late. Mon subordinate Pierre and moi have beaten you and your queen to this rich, fertile, nouveau world.
It's a bit rocky.
Little bit rocky, ouais, petit landscaping required. But soon, the ground you are defecating with your presence will be the location of my vast winery, growing the sweetest French grapes the world has ever tasted, and everyone will eat crepes, wear berets, carry baguettes, ride bicyclettes, and all the other things we French like to do.
You're insane.
Am I? And how are you going to stop me?
By the power of Grayskull, I have the power!
Oh mon Dieu, I can't believe you actually said that.
I fear you underestimate the extent to which a conceited self-confidence, fueled by national historical achievements, can profit one in such circumstances.
Ha! We've been perfecting this same method for centuries. You'll have to do better than that.
We intend to ridicule you into submission, exhausting an extensive list of social stereotypes conceived through years of suspicion and ignorance.
Then what? Are you going to celebrate with a petit crumpet? Eh? Wash down with a cup of tea? Expose your crooked teeth while you laugh regaling this tale with your unsatisfied wives? Ha! Je can't play that game, Monsieur English.
Honestly, I imagine this standoff will be resolved through the completion of some sort of moderately juvenile, yet entertaining puzzle.
How can you be so sure?
Well, it's got us this far. Well, we could... Look! A three-headed monkey!
Where?
Quick, Sub-Lieutenant Jones, run!
Oh, merde! How did I fall for that? Wait, you're right. I am too trusting. Pardonnez-moi, I'm a sucker for the blue eyes. What now, boyo?
Well, before we can legitimately lay claim to this new world, we need to remove their flag and hoist ours in its place.
Why?
Didn't they teach you history at school, Sub-Lieutenant Jones? That's just how these things work. It has a warmth that you simply don't get with digital, especially if you burn the sleeve as well. Really the sort of environment that lends itself to observational comedy. I won't be long, Sub-Lieutenant Jones. Amuse yourself until I get back.
I'll try and recollect the last couple of hours.
I don't believe the isolation of space has forced me to talk to the furniture just yet. I'm afraid I've nothing useful to hand. It doesn't appear to be working. They're sound asleep, helpless to oppose the future forced upon them, like the youth after the referendum. No matter how bad things are going, I find it helps to put a positive spin on things. Mild English cheddar cheese. Mild... Gosh! It's full of the blighters. I can't use these two together. They're sound asleep, helpless to oppose. It doesn't strike me as much of a talker. Seems to be one of those pay-to-win games. It doesn't appear to be working. It isn't great for the environment. Replacement ribbons are a real biohazard. If you want a job done around here, you've got to do it yourself. That leads into the laboratory.
Sub-Lieutenant Jones!
Aye, boyo?
Do you have any ideas how to deal with our continental cousins?
Above my paycheck, boyo. Don't we have anything back in the ship to de-escalate diplomatic dramas?
I can't say I've much experience with triple Ds.
Oh, I've handled a couple.
But we may be able to fashion something on board to distract them. Don't mind me. I fear nothing else can be salvaged. It's another rock. There are a lot of rocks. Look, there isn't really much for me to work with here. Humorously, I mean, obviously if I was a stonemason, there'd be loads to work. This is one of those situations where you're stuck between a rock and, well, more rocks. No point leaving without a souvenir. I'm not adverse to getting my hands dirty, it's just green was never my color. I'll be right back, Sub-Lieutenant Jones.
I'm holding my breath.
No need. You'll have ample oxygen. This isn't Skyrim. Another half hour and we'll be done.
Ooh. Ay, bandito! I make no bones about how grim that was. Fortunately, the majority of our ship's made from balsa wood and papyrus, so the hull shouldn't interfere with this metal detector. If you want a job done around here, you've got to do it yourself.
Be necessary. It was already checked before we boarded. It's Wales' own son, Sub-Lieutenant Jones. Let's try and salvage something.
like a spare wheel nut, or a fragment of dignity. Before its untimely passing, the Beagle 2-2 appears to have discovered a rock. Well, it's not... I fear nothing else can be salvaged. Well, this is embarrassing. Again. Don't be fooled by the rocks that I've got. I'm still Francis from, Dorking. Best hold on to my weighted companion. If I'm unable to find a solution to our current dilemma, I can always use this rock to vent my frustration on something brittle belonging to Alad. I can't use these two together.
Stop! One step closer and I'll have you made into pâté.
Just gonna nip inside again. Can I get you anything?
Oh, how about the solution to our current predicament?
Look, if I can't figure this out, we'll just Google the wiki. Don't worry. Gosh! It's full of the blighters! I can't use these two together. I doubt combining these two. It isn't great for the environment. Replacement ribbons are a real biohazard. They're sound asleep, helpless to oppose the future forced upon them. Like the youth after the ref. Fortunately, the majority of our ship's made from balsa wood and papyrus, so the hull shouldn't interfere with this metal detector. Less intrusive than a cavity search. Well, depending on where they put it, of course. Gosh! It's full of the blighters! I'm sure there's a more practical use for this. see. It's an informative map displaying the many high-definition areas aboard Her Majesty's spaceship Imperial Eyes.